Hi, my name is Todd Bethell. It's the 26th of August, 2022, and this is the job walkthrough, video job walkthrough for our solar project. This project was begun 2 years ago. These panels have been sitting here for 2 years. We have another stack over there we'll show you. The solar field is actually up there beyond those trees. So the project was partially completed, and in the subsequent timeline I got cancer, surgeries and chemo, all that stuff kind of knocked my socks off, and I kind of woke up just recently where but I'm still too weak to finish the project, and we need help getting it done. So I'm going to show you what's been finished and what hasn't been finished, and what complicated the job, why it now needs to be contracted out for finishing. We already have the blueprints. This is the second set. They've been turned into the county for plan check, plan review. We don't have the permit yet, but we're working on that, and so we're ready to start sending it out to see who wants to bid on the job. This is a 20 kilowatt system with 60 panels. These have been, like I said, sitting here for 2 years because the job came to a halt, and I'll explain to you in a moment why that was, besides getting cancer. And so here we go. All right, so this is the remainder of the panels, the 60 set collection. They're kind of dusty and dirty, but that doesn't matter. I have a tractor that I can use to haul these up to the solar field, so I'm not concerned about that. I can do that. Just need a little man help to get it onto forks and stuff to be able to move them up. Next scene. All right, this is the outside of the system. The solar field wires come in here. The trench has already been dug, so go ahead and show the trench that's open still. That was dug 2 years ago. We left it open for the inspector, but it was never, only part of it was filled in up on the hill so we could have access. Some of it started to fill in and grow over simply because of flooding. So follow the trench, and you can see eventually this will be concreted over. This whole area here will be concreted, but that's not in the plans. It's just the electrical and the solar field that are in the plans. So let's go back to here. This was done 2 years ago, and almost all of this has to be removed and taken out because we're going from an off-grid system to a grid tie system. And the reason for that primarily is because we had a 30 kilowatt hour solar storage system, lithium iron phosphate, very nice. It's installed on the other side of the wall. It's not UL approved, and we couldn't get it UL approved. So we're having to take that whole system out and all of this, redo it to a grid tie system with the solar 2 Sunny Boy inverters up on the hill. This is a generator backup. We do use this, so this kind of stuff is going to stay. These switches have to be replaced because these are 100 amp switches. They're going to be upgraded to 200 amp switches. They're utility switches, so they won't look like this, I suppose. This box has load center is going to be replaced because of this modification. I was told that we can't put anything in the utility raceway by the architect. So this switch in there, apparently, so I was told can't be there. So that has to be replaced. We're going to put the load center, the main load center, on the other side of the wall. Okay, I wanted to mention that pretty much the only thing that's going to remain, some stuff can be recycled, like maybe this raceway can be reused because it's already in this spot. But this conduit obviously can't be moved, and there's a bunch of 0-aught cables, aluminum cables here. Most of them aren't going to be used because it's not going to be an AC tight system, only 2 or 3. The rest will just sit there for potentially future expansion because it's already installed, you know, hundreds of feet up to the solar field. So we can't move this, and then everything has to be attached to this. This became detached a year or so ago because of the flooding and not concreted in, but the plan was to just lift it back up and reattach the coupling. I would show you the inside, but it's not really pertinent. It's just jammed with all the wires that are going all through here and stuff. As far as I'm concerned, it was a beautifully installed job. Just all has to come out. All right, this is the energy storage system that has to come out. It's really heavy. I may do this before you get here, or I may have you guys do it. So there's the new load center is going to go approximately here, where all these wires are coming out. This has to come out. This is just an extra solar charger. There were 4 solar chargers here and a 5th one there. So that obviously has to all come out, and it's a shame. Now what we hope to do is bring this back later as an AC coupled system, because this cost about $13,000, Don't want to even mention what the electrical's worth, but it is what it is. Sunk cost. So this is what the front of the system looks like. It's just eye candy. So you can see there's a 30 kilowatt inverter on the bottom, and we used it for power outages. It always kicked in nicely and worked very well for the 2 years that it was installed. And that's all the battery racks. So we're hoping to bring it back as an AC coupled system or off-grid system later on, after we get the permits and the solar system installed. Okay, so this is the trench and that's the garage, as you can see down there. I'll have all that filled in. You don't have to fill it, or we can discuss it, bringing it, using my tractor or not. Basically, it's the solar field, the electrical that's down there that needs to be done. That's what I'm asking you to bid on. And the inspector, so there's 2 access roads, one here and then one over here, so plenty of room to get to it. So follow me. So turn it around. Here's the solar field. It's already been graded. Turn this way. Nice and flat. A few weeds. We can run the tractor over this to take the weeds out, so you're not bidding on any of that. The holes are already dug, but they may have to be, this is the part you are bidding on. As you can see, the wiring is already here. There's some AC wiring, but that was intended for a 30 amp drop. It was supposed to be up here. I don't think, that's not in the plans, but here's the main cables, and there's a water source up here, also a faucet. And the holes are dug. They haven't collapsed, so they may need cleaned up and dug down a little bit more. In some cases, there were concrete anchors. It says in the blueprints, where the holes hit bedrock, anchors had to be drilled and placed. So that's something you'll see in the plans. I'll bring it up here a little bit. Just pan around. So you can pan around and see what the field looks like. The entire 60 panel array will be right here, and the top edge of the array is, look at me, show me. So the top edge of the array is 12 feet high, exactly 12 feet from where I'm standing. And then of course slopes down, and they're all pretty close together. It looks like one big array. And that's about it. This is easy to clean up, and the concrete, you'll be bidding on the concrete posts, the steel structure, and iron ridge system also. That's all in the blueprints. All right, here's what the switch arrangement looks like. You can pause the video if you want to examine it, but you also have access to the drawings itself. Whether that standby power panel will be included, I'm not sure, because I actually wanted the standby power to be able to power the whole house. I didn't want to have to wire separately what's powered and what's not powered, because there's a sub panel in the house and most of the load is in the house anyways. All right, here's the one-line diagram just to give you a brief idea. I know you're going to have access to the blueprints, or you should, and just wanted to give you a chance to look at it while it was on the video in case you. So it shows the switches and the meter and inverters and so forth. And this is what the array looks like. So pretty straightforward, a little taller than most arrays are, but I don't think that's going to be a problem with this Schedule 40 pipe. So this is not really for you to zoom in on, but basically here's what the different plans look like. We have 4 pages. There's the, well, you know what these cover page, title page I mean, and then single line diagrams, the parts and equipment. I know you can't see it. You'll have access to the blueprints, and that's the last page. That's the end of this recording. Well, I forgot to put a proper sign off. Hopefully I pick contractors that are interested in and capable of doing this sort of job, not the high volume fellows that can only do rooftops. This one has a little bit of, obviously it's partially completed, and maybe hopefully if everything goes well, we can have you back to get that energy storage system installed properly. So hopefully you're interested in bidding on it. Thank you.